Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would film this video because I get a lot of people asking me how I apply my false lashes. So I thought that I would just put up a video to hopefully make it a little bit easier and to teach a few of you guys how I apply my false lashes. Also just give you like a few tips and tricks that I do to make it easier to apply my false lashes. So let's just jump into this video. Okay, so starting off, as you can tell, I did apply a little bit of winged liner. I do feel like when you're new to applying false lashes, the best thing to do to hide your lash band is just to apply some eyeliner. It doesn't have to be winged out and as dramatic as mine, but as long as you apply a little bit of eyeliner, it will help you hide your lash band. And also, I did put on my mascara. You always want to put on your mascara before you apply your falsies, because if you do it after, you can end up ruining your falsies a little bit faster than if you were to put it on before. So I always put on my mascara before, I let my mascara dry, and then I move on to my false lashes. But for today, I'm just going to be taking some Pinky Rose lashes. These are in the style Out of Sight. These do have a pretty thick lash band, and I do recommend, if you're new to applying lashes, to go for a thinner lash band. So I know the ones at Target and Walmart, the Ardell Wispies or the Demi Wispies, those have a really thin lash band, and those are great if you're a beginner. But since I've been applying lashes for a little bit of time now, I am a little bit more comfortable with using a thicker band. And when you get your lashes, they are going to be super long. So what you're going to have to do is basically just measure them on your eye, because we're going to have to trim off a little bit of the excess lash. So I just put it on my lash without any glue or anything. I just place it there to see how much excess I'm going to have to trim off, so I don't over trim it. You always want to put it on there just to see. And as you can see, I have a little bit too much on the end. So I'm going to take it off. And when you're trimming your lashes, this is really important. You always want to make sure that you're trimming from the end, not the front. As you can see, the front is shorter than the end. Just like your natural lashes, the ones in the front are going to be shorter than the ones at the end. So you always want to make sure you're trimming from the end, because if you trim from the front, it's going to ruin them. So I'm just going to take the lash that I measured my eye with, some regular old scissors, and trim them a little bit. Once you have your lashes trimmed, we're going to apply the lash glue. What I use is the Duo adhesive, and I use the bottle where you can paint it on. Basically, it has a little brush. I don't use the squeezy tube because it makes a mess. So I would recommend, I think they cost the same. I think they're about the same. So buy the little tube with the brush on applicator, because it is really, honestly, it's so much easier than the little squeezy tube. The squeezy tube just makes a mess. So I don't recommend that one. But I'm just going to take my lash and I'm going to apply a thin layer of the glue. Now, what I noticed that some people do is, I feel like they think that the more glue you apply, the better, which honestly, that's not true. You want to only apply a thin layer of the lash glue, because if you apply too much, it's going to get really goopy and it's going to be a mess all over your lid. So you only need a thin layer. And once you apply your eyelash glue, you want to sit and you want to let it basically dry a little bit, just for like 30 seconds, just so the glue will get tacky. If you don't let it sit there for about 30 seconds, it's going to be too wet. You're going to try to apply it and it's just going to slide around all over your eyelid. So you always want to make sure you're waiting for about 30 seconds, just so the glue can get tacky. So when you try to apply it, it'll apply so much easier and it'll stick right onto your lid instead of sliding around. Now, once it's been about 30 seconds, I take my lashes and I grab them about in the middle with some tweezers, because to me, using tweezers is a lot easier than using your nails, because your nails get in the way. So I like to use tweezers. So I grab them, like I said, about in the middle of the lash band, and then I look down into a mirror and I stick them right in the middle. And once they're stuck in the middle, take the end piece and stick the end piece. And then take the inner corner and glue down the inner corner. And then once they're on there, I like to take my fingers and squeeze my false lashes and my real lashes together. I feel like I might be able to fly away with these things. But I am going to go over this eye with you one more time just to make sure you guys have it down. So again, take the lash, measure your eye, make sure it's not too long, and then if it is too long, trim off the extra lash from the end. Once you've trimmed off the extra lash, apply a thin amount of lash glue and then let it get tacky for about 30 seconds. And then once it's tacky, grab your tweezers and grab the lash in the middle. Grab your mirror and look downwards. And first start by applying it to the middle of your eyelid. Once it's on there, grab the end of the lash and stick down the end of the lash. And then once that's on there, grab the front of the lash and stick down the front. Once it's stuck and you're sure that it's stuck on there, just take your fingers and squeeze your falsies and your real lashes together so there's no gap. And then after that, that's about it. So I would just keep in mind that practice makes perfect. Just with anything else that you do with your makeup, like your eyeliner or your eyebrows, the more that you practice it, the better you're going to get at doing it. Even some days I get really discouraged. So don't let it get you down if you have to take them off a few times and then reapply them to get it perfect. It happens to everybody. Every once in a while, that happens to me, and I get really angry, but you just gotta take them off, take a breather, and then reapply them. You got this, girl, okay? Also, if you guys learned anything new today, leave a comment down below. Also, if you tried something and it really did help you, leave a comment down below, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye, everyone!